Hello everybody, this is Coffee with Cartoons, here today with my older brother Charles again.
Hello.
We will be talking about the second movie in the Scooby-Doo franchise, Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. You hear like a big bang next to your ear?
It's pretty loud.
That's just us drinking coffee on Scoob of Coffee podcast.
You should have called it a Scoob of Coffee, because it's actually kind of not clear when you say Scoob of Coffee what you're talking about. It kind of just sounds odd.
I can still change it.
Yeah, do us. You should do a Scoob of Coffee.
I'll just add an A at the top of it.
Yeah, that seems more like
a Scoob of Coffee.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Alright, everybody officially changed after the very first episode. We are now a Scoob of Coffee.
Yeah.
Big difference. I'm really sorry to all the dedicated fans.
The 18 people are going to be very disappointed.
Yeah. 2 of them were you and Mom.
Yeah, I'm frankly not going to watch anymore with the new name. I was dedicated to the old name. You guys have changed.
It was sold out.
First, Charles will be giving a brief summary, followed by a discussion of the plot, and then we're going to talk about how we felt about the characters, and then we'll be giving our rating out of 10.
Alright, so here's what happens in the movie. Scooby and gang meet new contact. Creepy guy. That's creepy guy.
You want to know the creepy guy's name?
Professor Ravencroft.
Yeah, it was really close. It's Ben Ravencroft. He's a horror writer.
Ben Ravencroft. So Scooby and gang attempt to solve a mystery of a haunted town. Part 3, the end. They solve it, but it turns out that their contact who had given them the case in the first place is actually a witch, or as he says, a warlock.
They're not synonyms, just so we're clear.
He's related to a witch who the town was pretending was the ghost, but really it wasn't. And then he tries to kill them. Take over the world.
Yeah, he really actually had world domination on his mind. Pretty big plans for a Scooby-Doo
Right,
villain.
but then the witch, at the end, doesn't like him, even though they're related. Kills him.
After that brief summary, we'll be going over the plot in its entirety. A little more detail.
So the beginning starts just like the last one did, where we enter and the gang is finishing up a different mystery.
And so they solve the mystery with the help of this random guy who shows up in this museum in the middle of the night, claiming to be researching. His name's Ben Ravencroft. He's a famous horror writer that Velma fangirls over. He invites them to come with him to his hometown in New England for a fair.
I'm not sure. What was it for again? Do you remember?
He makes up an excuse. It was really flimsy.
Was it a fair?
I think it was the fair. I was just going to visit my town for the... He says he lives in England most of the time, but he still has a house in town.
Right.
And he was just going to visit.
Yeah, of course Velma knows him, because Velma, she reads lots of books. She's read his books before, and so she knows.
Yeah, she's always like, I read that in the book, you know?
Right.
That's like her other line.
Yeah.
You know, other than, what is it, Zoinks?
Shaggy, yeah. I believe that's her other line.
Yeah, she says, Shaggy!
Right, that's it.
They go with him to New England, and the first thing they do there is they meet the mayor, who, I wrote down the other names, not the mayor's name, he's just the mayor. Doesn't really matter. They meet the mayor and Mr. McKnight.
So yeah, Mr. McKnight, he's a big-time pharmacist. They talk to him once, they give him one sentence, so you can be sure he'll be a very important character later, because otherwise they would have given him more sentences.
Exactly. And basically the whole town is like turned into a tourist trap.
Yeah, only gets the Tauruses. No Libras, no Cancers, no Capricorns.
Basically the whole town is turned into a tourist trap where they sell like merchandise based off of this lady who used to live in the town who was a witch, and they persecuted her.
Rightfully so.
And they're making a bunch of money off of saying that the ghost could be back any day. And they're being haunted because this is the best part.
No, they actually are haunted.
Yeah, they actually are haunted.
Well, no, they think they are. They think they're actually haunted, and they've had hauntings, and that's why the tourism is up so much.
Yeah, but wait a second. They think they've had hauntings, but do you remember why? It was because they built the Puritan village over a gravesite? No.
No. It's because they're like bulldozing it and like making new stuff.
Yeah, but they bulldozed it to make new stuff. The new stuff they were making was the Puritan village. That was the tourist trap.
No, that's the old one.
No.
That's the old Puritan village.
No, they made a new one. That's what they're talking about.
Why would they make a new Puritan?
That's why they went to go see it, and Ben was like, Puritan village? And he's like, oh, Ben, you must see what we've done.
Oh, maybe it's called Puritan Village.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
thought you were saying, like, it's a village that happens to be Puritan.
No, look, I even have it in quotations. They made a tourist location called the Puritan Village, and they're saying that they're haunted because they made it there.
Right.
But the Puritan Village,
so anyway, Ben Ravencroft, he's pissed about this because they are accusing his ancestor, great-grandmother, something like that?
Yeah, witch lady.
One of his distant ancestors of being the witch that is now doing the hauntings. And so he's really mad about this. He thinks his great ancestor was just some type of healer, a spiritual healer who was
Wiccan.
Yeah, a Wiccan, who they were, who they didn't like because she was different, probably smarter, probably a girl boss. So they hung her on the cross.
Girl boss.
They burned her alive.
Gatekeep.
He was upset about this. So now he's trying to find a book.
Yeah, he's trying to find this book. He asked the mayor immediately after they dug up all that shit if he found her old book. And he's like, no. The mayor says, no, we didn't find an old book.
That's a really moving scene when he says no like that. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, Ben. We didn't find an old book of any kind.
That's kind of how he sounds, actually.
Then the mayor invites them all to go to the Puritan village. So all of them, the whole gang, go to the Puritan village, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's like a pilgrim village where there's like butter churning, and you can get locked up in shackles. And
there's an incredibly important scene here where Scooby plays a churning stick, one of those like butter churning things,
as if it was a guitar.
And
everybody laughs.
It's a really deep, really symbolic moment. If you get it, you get it. I'm not going to explain it because it's one of those things. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, I don't want to embarrass you right now in front of everybody. So
it'd be pretty embarrassing. So they all go mess around at this Puritan village, and then they decide. Oh yeah, so the gang's interested because the mayor told him that there was hauntings. So the gang is now trying to solve this haunting, but they haven't seen a ghost yet. So the gang wants to stay at the Puritan village to wait until the ghost shows up that night because the mayor told them that the ghost would show up that night. There's like a bunch of other tourists there. Mm-hmm. But Shaggy and Scooby are like, no, we're hungry. So the mayor takes them to the best restaurant in town, which is just a diner. It just looks like a regular
best
diner.
Restaurant in the world, I think, actually. It wasn't just the town.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry. He takes them to the best restaurant in the entire goddamn world. And Ben the schmo, says to tell the guy that it's on his tab that he'll pay for all the food Shaggy and Scooby eats. And the gang's like...
Yep.
They're like...
That's why he needs world domination at the end, because he's so in debt he would never be able to live again.
Yeah,
so he has to take over the world to absolve himself of his own debt. It's really quite a sad, tragic story with no winners.
Exactly. So the mayor takes Shaggy and Scooby to the restaurant. He's like, oh no, he's like, this is the best cook in town. It's Jim. Jim? Introduces him to Jim.
I believe it's Gustav.
Bro, okay. I misspoke. So... the gang does want to see that ghost at night.
Yeah,
but they actually don't leave to do that immediately. When Shaggy and Scooby go to the restaurant and eat a disgusting amount of food and disgust everybody else in the place and run the guy out of food, they all go to Ben's apartment. Sorry, his loft.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, Ben he says he spends a lot of time in England, and you can really tell in his voice because he's like got this weird English accent that goes in and out. Like some words he just sounds like...
he's a sophisticate.
He speaks like an American sophisticate. So they're back at Ben's apartment. Ben's giving them some great lore on his ancestor. There's a great portrait in there as well. I remember the portrait.
Show a picture of the portrait real quick.
Yeah, beautiful portrait. They're all like, oh, she's so beautiful. And he's like, yes, I know. And, oh, yeah. Velma says she's so beautiful. And he's like, I know, that's why it makes me so mad that everyone thinks she's like an evil witch. And I'm like, that's the only reason? Mm-hmm. Just because she's pretty? If she was ugly, you'd be like, yeah, my ancestor was a hell of a witch.
And, you say what you want about, Ben Ravencroft and all that, but this is the one part where he's totally right. Like, if you're an Uggo, people can hate you. Like...
some people hate you, right?
He's in the right here. That's all I gotta say. This is one thing I agree with him on. World domination, maybe not so much, but, the Uggos... Cut this part out.
So that's that whole scene basically. Is Ben gives some lore on their ancestor while Scooby and Shaggy are gorging themselves, and the gang shows up at the diner to say hi to Shaggy and Scooby and see if they want to come watch the ghost with them, and they're like, hell no, we're gonna keep eating here. It's the gang and then leave to go wait for the ghost. So the ghost doesn't show up, and all the tourists leave, and they're like, yep, no ghost, crazy. And Ben's being all like cheeky, like, oh, I wanted to talk, I wanted to know if I could talk to her, haha. Like he knew they were, like she wasn't gonna show up. Yeah, and then Shaggy and Scooby leave the restaurant, and run into the Hex Girls. But at first they're like, ooh, girls. But then they show their fangs, and they're like, vampires, or witches. Vampires? What did they say?
I don't remember what they said.
Like
they had to have said vampires, right?
Yeah, right?
It wouldn't have made sense to say witches.
Yeah. No, because later on he's like, but there was like 3 of them, man. 3 witches, or something like that.
Yeah, that's how he sounded.
But yeah, they run away from the Hex Girls. That's their first appearance in the movie so far. We've heard of them earlier, I believe. We saw a poster for the Hex Girls, and they talked about it for a sec. And then they run away from the Hex Girls and run into the gang. And at this point in the movie, I realized that Scooby-Doo movies are completely moved along by Shaggy and Scooby just running away and into things.
I already knew that.
I can't believe it. What hacks?
That's how every single episode of Scooby-Doo works. Have you not watched the series?
I guess I was never analyzing it. I was just enjoying.
No, and then they trick them and they get them in. They lure them into some trap, and that's always Scooby and Shaggy's job. And then they give them the tightrope, and they go, "Oh, it was just Ben the farmer."
Oh wait, I left out a part.
Yeah.
They don't just run into the gang. They run away from the Hex Girls and then run into the ghost.
Yep.
The ghost comes out of the forest. There's a bunch of light, and she's scary. She's got a long nose, big dress.
White.
Yeah, very white, very pale character. And then they run into the gang.
They go, "Oh, look all the stuff that happened to us," and they're like, "You're crazy, Scooby and Shaggy." And then that's the whole scene. They don't believe them the first time.
And then after they meet up with the gang, they see lights in the forest, and the gang's like, "Let's go see the lights in the forest." You know, it's mystery. They see the light. They walk over there, and they're like, "It's the witches!" Oh yeah, that they did think they were witches. And Fred goes, "No, guys, it's just the Hex Girls." And then they switch to showing us the epic music video of their song. We're Hex Girls and we're gonna put a spell on you.
Yeah, we're the Hex Girls and we're gonna put a spell on you. Now, I did just play a snippet of the song right there. That was from YouTube. So if we get, DACA strike. Wait, what is it again? DMCA?
I don't know what it is. I've never gotten one.
You never gotten one?
You're
gonna get one right now. We just played a clip.
Oh. Well, here, let me just add on to it. Where'd you stop?
Well, my YouTube...
We're the Hex Girls,
the YouTube video on my phone.
And we're gonna put a spell on you.
Yeah, that's Winter Singing. That's not the phone. Mine, before that was the phone, though.
You'll feel the fog as I cloud your mind. You'll get nearly when I make a sign.
I mean, that's pretty good, but...
At the beginning of the movie, by the way, there is a cover of the classic Scooby-Doo theme song, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Sang by Billy Ray Cyrus. Which is pretty epic. Probably one of my favorite versions of the song.
I'll play that clip of that on my phone as well. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
Man, that's the right cover. That's
work to do. Oh, wrong video.
Southern accent. You need.
Wrong video. Sorry, that was not by Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, could you do the one by Billy Ray Cyrus?
Scooby. I think of a Southern accent. I don't know how to. I mean,
Scooby,
I was trying to find the right video.
Just do Grandpa. Scooby-Dooby.
I'm not really sure.
Man, wait. Can you really not sing in a Southern accent? Taters, potatoes, Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
That's not right at all.
That's not right at all.
It's the most offensive.
Maybe it is offensive. If you're Southern and you were offended, leave a comment.
Leave a like, comment, follow my Twitter, and subscribe below into the comment section if you feel that we've been offended you. Go ahead and follow me on Google Plus if you feel that I've ruined your life.
They see the lights, they see the Hex Girls, they watch the Hex Girls sing a song. They talk to the Hex Girls for a second, trying to see if they're, suspects, because they're,
creepy,
they're goth. Oh, they give us all their labels here. Eco-goth.
Eco-goths, that's right.
Wiccan.
Yeah.
They're really, I used to think they were really cool, and now watching back on them, I think they're just pretty
Still extremely cool.
They're really cool, and their songs are good, and I like their designs, but they talk pretty much just like cringy kids, and they run out to Ben Ravencroft, who's a horror writer, and they're like, we've always wanted to talk to you. You, like, get us, man. And
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, this is like teenage girls nowadays with Loki.
I think that's always been teenage girls.
Projecting on
Always.
grown men?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, like the Beatles. Oh, yeah. We didn't
Luna,
say...
Scar,
The main girl.
the main girl is Stella?
No, it's...
Isn't it Stella, actually,
I
though?
have to have her name in here somewhere. It's not Stella. It's... Fang?
Fang, Fire and Ice. No, that's not right.
Hi,
I think it's
Scorn? Thorn.
Thorn.
Now we gotta look up all their names.
Just a quick spell fact. Hex is actually only one letter away from sex.
Oh,
Just
so
a quick
it's
trivia.
It's Thorn, Dusk, and Luna. Oh, you did have Luna right. What was the second one you said? Did you say Dusk? I'll check that back later. But
Yeah.
Thorn
Instant
is the
replay.
lead singer. The drummer is Dusk,
Yeah,
and the keyboardist is Luna.
right. So like Winter said, Fire, Ice, and Wind. They're the really good band members. They have a great band. Everyone likes them.
Everybody likes the Hex Girls.
They're a little
They have
scared
two
of them.
banger songs in this movie. And they have been great ever since, except in that one show. But we don't need to talk about it. You know what I'm talking about if you're a fan of the Hex Girls.
Leave a comment, subscribe below if you think that the Hex Girls were good.
Leave a guess down there which is the only appearance of the Hex Girls where they're not top notch. So they split up again after this. Daphne and Fred split and the others go together. And Daphne and Fred, when we go back to them, they're doing jack shit. Like, Daphne's just kind of like trying to flirt with Fred, but not really. And this is another one of those scenes that makes them feel like people who just don't know each other.
The romance scene.
Because, like, they're supposed to have been friends since, like, they were teenagers. And if this is going off the last movie, which it feels like it is, it's just kind of weird that people who work together for so long are still, like, so awkward and don't know each other.
There was a whole scene where he was like, I mean to tell you this, but I never had the right opportunity, and then he gets cut off.
Probably, I'm gay.
I've been meaning to say this for some time now, Daphne, but I'm not at all interested in you or any of you.
Maybe Shaggy, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. He's like, yeah, you set me up with Shaggy? So that's what I wanted to ask you.
They team up, they do jack shit, and then Scooby and Shaggy split up from the group they had with Velma and Ben. Oh, right, they all had different tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So Shaggy and Scooby were following the mayor, and Velma and Ben search a barn that they think is suspicious.
Well, no, remember the mayor came out of that barn.
Yeah, so they wanted to check it out.
They wanted to look in there, and then she goes inside, and she's like, "Oh, this cherry picker is warm.
Yeah,
Someone
what's
must
up
have
with
driven
that?
this." And he's like, "Did you not just see the guy leave? Did you
Yeah.
not just see the mayor leave? Obviously, we know who drove this, idiot Velma."
Oh yeah, Scooby and Shaggy, of course, find the ghost again, and they run away from it, and basically into the whole gang. Like they run into like two of them, and then the other two just show up. And so now they're all back together. They all share the clues and information they got about the cherry picker, about the ghost they saw when they were following the mayor. About what did Fred and Daphne do? They were.
You didn't write this down?
I wrote down like a lot of stuff. I think I rewrote it. They split up. Daphne and Fred.
Just says Daphne and Fred. I just wrote Daphne and Fred 800 times after that.
No, they were doing something. They were like waiting for somebody. There was another suspect. Who was the other suspect at the time? The Hex Girls? Were they waiting for the Hex Girls?
Oh,
Yeah, they
yes,
went to the Hex Girls.
Yeah, and he like goes and sneaks up on this. By the way, he peers into a like 16-year-old girl's window. How old is he supposed to be? Maybe she's 18 actually, because there's slight romantic. Wait,
I think they're canologically 16.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Are the gang older than 18?
The gang is older than 18
So this
in a few of the movies.
So this pretend love triangle then is actually like
Yeah, it's just garbage.
complete bogus.
So, yeah, they went to watch the Hex Girls. They see Thorn doing something like they think is creepy potion stuff.
But really, she's making cough medicine.
Yeah, she's just making cough medicine, like some inhalant stuff, some drugs.
It's just meth. Like
It's
they're freaking out, but it's just
Yeah.
meth. Like it's not a big deal.
I think it was just marijuana.
Marijuana. If it was marijuana, they'd be going to prison for the rest of their lives, like they deserve. Like 'cause that's deadly.
Yeah.
That will kill you.
Yeah, I've been dead for years.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, they're running away from the ghost. Basically everyone just meets up and then give all their information. And so then they're talking to the mayor. The mayor shows up and he's like, "What's all this? What are you guys doing out so late? What are you snooping around for?" And Velma makes up some BS on the spot where she's like, we need to leave. We gotta go. We're leaving town. Adios. Ghost too scary for us.
Too scary for Shag and Scoob.
But then when the mayor leaves, Velma's like, "Here's the plan." They meet up with the Hex Girls, and the ghost shows up. They trap the ghost, then find out it was Mr. McKnight. Remember that guy who had one line earlier?
One line.
Who also happens to be Thorne's dad.
Right. It has to all add up together.
Yeah. And then when they find out it's Mr. McKnight, the mayor shows up and the mayor's like, "Who's that, McKnight? Oh my god, I can't believe it was you." But the mayor was actually in on it, and so were all the town's business owners. They all made up the ghost, so they bring money to the town for tourism.
And if everyone's guilty, no one is. So no one's punished. They're all totally chill.
All totally chill. Yeah, the mayor, runs the police.
He is the dictator of that
This
city.
is-
He gets to control everything that goes on.
Yeah, exactly. This is nepotism. This is fucked up.
It's not really nepotism.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Not sure what you're looking for.
This is corrupt. That's what I'm saying.
Corrupt.
Yeah, but then it's revealed that it's all the business owners in town, and Ben's real beat up about it. He shames all of them. Shame on all of you for putting.
But then the mayor just waddles back in afterwards.
Yeah, that's the best part. Okay, so you think the movie would end there, right? No. So they go back to Ben's place with the Hex Girls. They're all in Ben's loft with the Hex Girls, and Shaggy and Scooby finally bring up this belt buckle they found at the beginning of the movie when Scooby just decided to dig somewhere randomly. Wait, no. Shaggy tripped over? Whatever. They found this belt buckle, and they show it to Ben. And Velma's like, "Whoa, wait a second," and it matches the buckle on the book in the picture of Ben's ancestor.
Right.
And then, this was awesome. So, the mayor and the town people come in there, right? And this is what happens. The mayor knocks on the door, Ben opens it, and he's like, "Ben!" Ravencroft goes, "Hi, mayor." Like they didn't just frame his ancestor.
He should be pissed.
Haunted.
But the mayor's like, "Yeah, I'm
he
sorry."
He was pissed, like 2 seconds before.
I know. The mayor's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry about the whole dragging your entire dynasty through the mud. My bad." And he's like, "Oh, it's no big deal, mayor. We're chilling, bro." And then,
yeah, 2 minutes ago, huge deal. For shame on all you fuckers. But now, dude, water under the bridge.
Yep.
And so, but you know what else he says? He says, "You know what, Ben? I need to tell you this. I lied. We did find a book."
Did he lie? Oh, he did.
Yeah.
He did lie.
He fucking lied. He's like, "We did find a book."
Yeah, we found that book.
I forget why he says he didn't tell him about it.
Wait, they didn't find the book. Remember, because Phil Velma figures that out where the book is with the
they
shoe
found
buckle.
the grave.
The grave.
He's like, "Sorry, we did find
the grave, but no book."
The grave, but no book.
Yeah.
We didn't even find a body. Which, by the way, they just found the grave marker. Which, by the way, I'd say finding a grave marker does not mean you found a grave if there's no body. It means you found a piece of stone.
Well, remember the body is in the book.
I know, but
they don't know that yet.
I know. And so.
Throw a picture of a grave real quick.
Yeah, it's a grave. Not a grave. Sorry, this is a grave marker. This is a grave.
Oh,
very different. One has a dead person in it.
Take down the picture of the grave. Put a picture of a grave marker. She looks at the picture. She looks at the painting and like where the tree is, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a whole tree there in the painting, and he's like, "Man, it's probably next to that tree." He doesn't know what tree that is.
Yeah.
So he's been looking around at all the fully grown trees that aren't cut down because that's what it looks like in the painting. And then Velma's like, "Wait a minute," and then she grabs the shoe buckle and she goes, "This is the buckle of the book, not the shoe buckle."
Oh, so I had the order wrong. It was Mayor shows up, tells them of the grave. Shaggy then shows the belt buckle.
Right. And then she's like, "Oh, that tree was cut down because that's where Scooby found the belt buckle."
Yeah.
That's why you look in the wrong places, Ben. Professor Ravencroft.
He's not a professor. He's just a writer. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has 2 PhDs.
Oh, okay.
You have to read a little deep in the lore. I wouldn't expect you to understand that.
Understandable, yeah. They asked Scooby to go show them where they found the belt buckle.
Right.
Book buckle, my bad. Scooby goes and digs up the book. And then for 5 minutes, after Ben has the book, he gives a monologue about how he's actually very evil.
Big
and so
evil.
was his ancestor. And he wants to bring her back to life so they can be a witch and warlock and take over the world together. This is his big scheme this whole time. And it's all to get back at everybody ever. Right?
He doesn't like anybody. Yeah, he just hates everyone, I think.
And he also reveals that he even set up the before mystery so he could show up and ask them to help find the book. And then, as if to rationalize that whole situation.
Unnecessary, by the way. Unnecessary. He could have actually...
Yeah,
they could have written him in as just researching. But they had to be like, no, he set up the whole previous mystery.
It's completely unnecessary. He could have just actually figured out where the gang was and went to where they were.
Right.
And then, as if to justify it, Shaggy's like, why didn't you just ask us to help you find the book?
He does ask that. Yeah, and then he's like...
No, Velma. Velma's like, because he knew we would never have helped him if we knew what it really was.
But he never freaking revealed that, even in the other place.
Yeah,
even
that's
the other way.
Best part. Like, he didn't reveal that the whole time. He could have literally went up to Velma.
And been like, I'm looking for this book that my ancestor has.
Yeah. And been like, I need your help finding out the mystery of this book. Where is it?
Right.
And she literally would have helped him. But instead of all this, the whole mystery beforehand was just this. Oh yeah, he didn't even plan the witch haunting thing.
Yep.
That just happened to also be at the same time.
Yep. Huge plot hole, guys. We're talking the biggest
So while
plot
he gives
hole.
this whole speech about how he's really evil and he's going to take over the world, he set everybody up. Everybody watches him in horror and does nothing. No one tackles him. No one tries to take the book.
They do eventually try to.
They do eventually after he does stuff. After he starts attacking them.
Yeah.
They do try to constrain him, but it's too late because now he's got the magic and the magic book.
Right, and then there ensues like a giant fighting scene
Huge
with some very reminiscent pumpkins from a different movie.
Yeah.
Ghoul School.
Ghoul School pumpkin, reminiscent of that guy, the pumpkin spud guy.
Yep.
No, not pumpkin, potato.
Yep.
Potato guy.
There's a huge brawl. Obviously, this
so
gang
many things.
wins.
He does actually bring his ancestor back. She fights too. But she doesn't like him. She just wants to destroy the world to get revenge, and he wanted to take it over. You see how that, clashes.
And then eventually they're like, man, we gotta get this girl. We gotta get this girl back in the book. This evil witch that he just reincarnated or whatever, resurrected.
Oh, and then she trapped him in a bubble.
Right.
Turned a turkey giant, which is why this is a Thanksgiving movie.
Yep. Big turkey. Big turk.
And yeah, just pretty much terrorized them. But it did have a bunch of those moments where someone runs away and she just waits there. She just waits there until they're ready to talk to her or fight again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, she's summoning pumpkins and she's making the trees.
Yeah, also she summoned pumpkins to chase after them when she is so much more powerful than the fragile pumpkins, and she could have just chased them herself. We already saw that she could move. She flew all over the place.
Right.
It was this fight scene, it was just none of it really made sense, is what I'm saying.
Anyhow.
There's a lot of good gags, I guess.
Thorn comes back. She's the Wiccan ancestor.
Oh yeah, Thorn earlier was like, I'm 1/16 Wiccan.
She's 1/16 Wiccan, so she has the power to demon back to hell, where she belongs.
Ben tries to send her back into the book, but she gives this nice bit of lore where she's like, haha, you think you can send me back into the book? You have to be a witch with a righteous heart. And he's like, fuck, I'm unrighteous.
Oh, shit, man.
And so then they find Thorn, and they're like, 16-year-old girl, please put your life in danger and read this book, and hopefully it'll send the witch back into the book because you're 1/16 Wiccan. And it works. Of course it works. Send her back into the book.
They burn the book.
And then a tree was on fire, a branch breaks, and the book burns. When she gets sucked back into the book, though, she drags Ben with her. Right. Essentially dead. Killing him. They're both dead.
They both die. Straight to
the
hell.
giant turkey is left there.
Makes no sense at all. Pumpkins went back to normal.
Everything else went back to normal except for the giant turkey which
stays.
is now, and it needed it to stay because the town was like, what are we gonna do now that we don't have a tourist attraction? And Shaggy's like, look at that huge turkey, and they're like, money,
So they got all the big turkey signs ready. They tell the world about their big turkey.
The Hex Girls sing Earth, Wind, Fire, and Air. Do you want to play a bit of that song?
Earth, wind, fire, and air.
We may look bad, but we don't care.
That was a recording?
We ride the wind, we feel the fire.
Still recording.
To love the earth is our one desire.
That last part was actually just Winter singing.
Yeah. But yeah, so they sing that song, everybody dances, they dress up also as witches. It's cute. The end.
The end. Or is it?
What do you think of the plot of this movie? Do you like it more than the last one? Same?
This movie, I think that there's more character interaction, which is really what was missing so much from the last movie. It made it feel so bare.
Yeah.
I found it... You know, it had a solid twist at the end. Solid double twist when he got captured by the ghost as well.
Yeah.
You thought it was going to be a typical mystery, but, you know, it wasn't. We got the Daphne-Fred romance. Sorry, the Scooby-Fred romance going on. What did I say? Oh, sorry. The Fred Shaggy romance. We'll cut that out. And then we had, you know, Velma, a lot more character. Velma's like the one who like is friends with Scooby and Shaggy. It feels like because like Daphne and Fred are like they have their own little world, and then Velma's like, oh, I got the Scooby snacks. Yeah. Like I'm best friends with these guys. It feels really warm.
Yeah, it's really interesting because later on, and that becomes Daphne's thing was the Scooby snacks. Would you do it for a Scooby snack? Like I think she was always the one asking like a pup named Scooby Doo and stuff.
Were
like
there
that.
even Scooby snacks in the first movie we watched?
Yeah, there's always Scooby snacks.
I don't remember any in the first one.
The first one? No, there was. It was like, oh, remember? She's like, sorry guys, they're stale.
Oh yeah. Because they haven't done mysteries in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I remember.
I still felt like the interaction was a little lackluster.
It's an hour and 6 minute movie.
I know, but I felt like this movie at least had a more solid structure, like beginning, middle, and end than the last one. The last one felt a little scattered to me.
I felt the movie was more whole in its entirety. There's more interesting characters in this one than the last one. There's more.
Just like a real world.
Yeah, it feels. I think the whole movie is more complete. Honestly, it's still obviously derivative. It's still a Scooby-Doo movie. It's still all that stuff. It's still a movie for kids, whatever. So it's not like it's gonna be complex, like super complex. But as far as
I like that the whole town was behind the witch, like all the business owners,
right?
Like, because it makes sense. Now that we're done going over the plot, we'll briefly go over the characters and then give our rating for the movie. So the characters in this movie. Pretty much the same as last time. A little more flirting action between Fred and Daphne. They have one of those endings where they kind of insinuate they're going to be dating after it, but of course they are not. Their character interactions are pretty much just kind of the same as last time. Fred shows mild interest in another woman, and Daphne gets really defensive and jealous and tries to get Fred to admit he likes her instead of just telling Fred that she likes him. Then Velma, obviously, a lot of her character interaction was just with Ben Ravencroft, which was a little disappointing, obviously, because, we wanted to see her interactions with the gang a little more. She was fangirling over Ben Ravencroft, basically saying, supporting all the things he said, and was rationing it out, solving the mystery that he was putting in front of her that he wanted her to figure out. And she did feel very rightly betrayed at the end. Her reaction was good. Like, I felt her betrayal. And then she goes, I can't believe I ever liked your books.
I know, that's the worst one. She's like, what's that supposed to mean? Like, she's not saying they're bad. She's just saying, like, I can't believe I liked them.
I can't believe
she's not like taking it back.
Write good books.
Like, it would be better if she was like, your books actually fucking suck. I never watched those. Wait,
I never watched them.
I only watch them. Straight to movie. That's all I watch.
Shaggy has a great line where Velma's like, Shaggy, we need to get the book. And he goes, book? Can't we just wait for the movie? Again, Velma and Shaggy do tend to have a lot of the good interactions between the gang. Because all the interactions between Daphne and Fred are between them two and their little romance thing.
True. So
the gang, pretty lukewarm about them in this movie. Not a lot of interactions between each other. Don't clean your toenails in my fucking room.
No.
What are you doing? You picking at them?
No, it's just like I want to straighten them out. They're not straight. It's like all choppy. I'm not using those. I'll just do it later. Like I wanted to cut my socks open and stuff. When they're like razor sharp.
Yeah, that's why you cut them.
That makes them even sharper.
Then you use the file.
What are you like? 40 minutes you spent doing your toenails?
You just gotta take care of yourself. It's like saying it takes too long to shampoo your hair.
No, it's not.
Anyway. As for the other characters in this movie, however, were honestly pretty solid. Like, even the ones, like, with the bad accents, or, like, we only saw them for a little bit, it still felt like they were actual characters, like, in a story all of their own. Like, they had their own motivations and, like, life. Like, no one felt like they purely existed for the Scooby-Doo movie.
Pharmacist.
Except for the pharmacist. Pharmacist is
Bad character.
You know, the Hex Girls, good at establishing, you know, they're just a bunch of teenagers who are goth. And
Eco-goth.
so, Hex Girls, good songs. They felt like real characters, you know, did stuff, and they, you know, they were freaking out like, you know, teenage girls when, you know, all the shit went down and they got trapped and they got freed.
They show up later too, right? In different movies? Or different movie, maybe?
They show up in a few different movies.
Yeah. Bill? He's the guy who sold him food, right?
Yeah.
He's a big guy who made good food. Scooby and Shaggy ate all his food. He was in on the whole ghost scheme as well. He wanted the business from it, but he seemed a little upset when Shaggy and Scooby ate all his food, which seems rather silly to me, because you make money when they eat food.
Exactly.
He should be very happy about this. Not to mention the fact that he was looking for tourists to come and eat his food and pay for it, which Scooby and Shaggy just did.
This is just like Miss Lemoire in the last movie.
Yeah, it's just they're just pissed over like totally normal like good behavior. Like, oh man, business is successful. I have to go out to get more food. This guy, I can't believe he was disappointed for even a second. Like, honestly, Scooby and Shaggy.
Like, they just gave him all of Ben Ravencroft's money. That's why they had to kill off Ben at the end, because he like didn't have enough money to pay for this film.
True. Oh, it never gets paid. The bill never gets paid.
Oh shit.
Because he goes in the book. What are they gonna do?
They take money out of his account. They put it on his tab. He has a tab with his card on it, right?
No way. He's not a tab with his card on it. He probably has a tab, but it's not directly attached to his card or anything.
Man, yeah, that guy's bankrupt.
Yeah, they really ate all his food. They didn't mention that. Yeah, they ate all his food. They didn't pay for it.
I mean, he did try to like scare them out of town. I guess he wasn't really trying to scare them out of town. He's just trying to create a tourist attraction.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's the real victim of this story. They ate at least like a few $1,000 worth of food.
Oh, absolutely. They had fucking whole ham.
They said
Scooby-Doo is allergic to bones.
Just to give you a perspective, they said that they really enjoyed. That's as to say, they particularly enjoyed out of the food they ate the last 12 pies. Meaning, first of all, there were more than 12 pies, and there were probably more than double that, right? Like you wouldn't say the last 12 pies unless it was like you ate like 30.
Is easily like.
And that's just the pies.
$20, $30. They literally ate like $200 worth of just pie.
Yeah, no, that's nuts. Yeah, they ruined that guy's business. He's goofed. He's goofed on.
Big goofed. All characters.
You guys ever heard of Bogo's Binted?
As for like character design. Bex Burls.
You have to get that out of there. You have to cut that out. Sure.
Character design. Obviously, this is the movie where they introduced the Hex Girls, so the character design is impeccable, fantastic.
I kind of like the scenes where they have like really detailed scenes of Ben at the end there when he's going crazy, and they zoom in. And they have like all this detail drawn. Clearly, there's like a bunch of frames as opposed to the usual like 3 frames that they have per scene. Those are kind of nice. Yeah, it was pretty kind of boring, I think, for the most part. The settings, it was just kind of like forests and like a small village setting. Wasn't much interesting like drawings or picturesque landscapes. It was kind of, to me, it was very placid until maybe the very end when you get like the big fight scene. I think that was it was very dark during that time, probably the darkest it was during the whole movie. And then you had all the lightning, all the crazy effects going on. But until then, I found it very, very banal, kind of boring.
Yeah, and I even usually like forest scenes a lot, or like settings. But it was that it didn't really feel like a setting. It felt like they walked in there, and then suddenly there's never, you can't think of a place in the forest. They were just always in the forest.
Right.
There was just trees around and bushes. There wasn't a setting in there.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, at least the last movie, it was like we had swamps, we had some
why were they
interesting
practicing in the middle of the woods? That's where the stage is, in the middle of the woods?
Maybe. I mean, it's a possibility, right? Or that they were just practicing somewhere else where they wouldn't be bothering people as much.
But how'd they get the stage there?
Maybe it's an easy build stage.
Nah.
I'm not defending it, I don't know.
Hey, we want to build a stage for the town. Where should we put it? Oh, we don't have room. Middle of the forest.
Woods.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but they just
Where
kind
do
of
we
two
put the
settings.
preachers? They can sit in the bushes.
Yeah, there's kind of two settings. So it's like thinly, packed woods, or kind of like small village setting.
I mean, they pushed through bushes to get in there.
Yeah.
There wasn't any standout setting moments, I would say, definitely. Not like the last movie.
Yeah, last movie was very pretty.
And it was very setting oriented. Like Louisiana was like in the swamps. It was
Right. It struck me as being more dynamic the last movie too, just more stuff going on in the settings. Whereas this one was always just kind of like settings and background, and the two characters just talking.
Yeah, you never like stopped and were like, oh, look at that thing.
Right.
You know, you're like, oh yeah.
Remember
Any interesting background pieces were also plot pieces, like the picture frame. Like, did you notice anything else in Ben's apartment?
No, I
can't think of a single thing. I think he might have had some other art on the walls.
Yeah.
But that's it. Well, moving on to our closing thoughts and rating for the movie. Charles, closing thoughts and rating out of 10 graham cracker Scooby snacks.
Closing thoughts, eh? I don't know. I think it's better than the last one. Just because there's more character interaction, more meaningful character interaction, which was what was really missing from the last one. Once again, I feel like it was just so robotic. The last movie. This one definitely has more interesting character interaction. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Ooh. For those of you who didn't listen to the last one, you give the last movie 4 out of 10.
Yeah,
that's nearly double. This is nearly double a better movie.
Nearly double. Wow, good job.
I'm actually just gonna agree with Charles on this one on a solid 10. Like I enjoyed it. I could get 10.
You give me a 10?
I'm gonna
cut.
I'm gonna agree with Charles on this one and give it a solid 7. Like, it's a Scooby-Doo movie. It's pleasing. It's fun to watch. Yeah. But definitely not and better than the last one, definitely. But not, the setting was pretty blah. Not a lot of standout moments. Crazy plot that barely makes sense as usual, but the twists were really fun. So yeah, solid 7. Good Scooby movie. Not great. Not bad. Good.
Okay Scooby movie.
No, okay with 6.
This is the one I'll be comparing to the rest of the Scooby movies from now on.
Oh, even Alien?
I'll be comparing how good they are to this
Cyber
one.
Chase?
Yeah, this is a neutral movie.
This is a neutral. This is pH neutral. So
I think,
this
well,
is 5.
no.
This is pH 6.
No, because for me at least, below 5 is bad movie. Don't watch. Above 5 is good movie, could watch. 7 is like in the level of like, this is an average watchable movie. Below 5 is this movie sucks. Metaphysics of rating in the next episode.
Yeah. But there you have it, guys. Me and Charles both rate this movie 7 graham cracker Scooby snacks out of 10. Alright, everybody. This has been a Scoob of Coffee, new title, with my brother Charles and me, Coffee with Cartoons. Charles, any parting words for the audience?
No.
You've all been fantastic as usual. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And have a fantastic day.